going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we are under 3 weeks until 7th Day. That's right, under 3 weeks, and I'm not ready. I'm really not ready. I mean, over the winter time, you saw the projects that we were working on. The plan was to have the FD for this year's Rx7 show. The motor is being pulled as we speak right now, and I am gonna be showing you guys the breakdown of my motor so we can see exactly what happened and caused it not to have compression, but that's gonna be in the later video. So anyway, I don't think I'm gonna have the FD ready for 7th Day this year, but I do have two other RX7s that we can choose from. Now obviously the Turbo 2 is still in the works. I'm still gathering parts here. I have all the body panels and everything like that. So the motor still hasn't been cleaned up yet, and I still waiting on a what fuel system and what injectors and all that stuff, what I'm gonna use. So I am piecing everything together, but I am just diagramming and planning everything out so it can be a wicked car so that I can drive on the street, and also a car that I can put some slicks on and drive at the track. So I don't wanna rush it. So this car is gonna be not at the show this year. So we only have one more option, which is a car that I brought last year, my 1990 Rx7 Convertible. Now this is a fun car to drive. I showed you on the prior videos of, you know, all the features that it had and all that stuff. So my plan was to get this car resprayed over the winter time so it can be one solid color. One solid color meaning matching whites. As you can look at the front bumper and the hood, there are different colors in the car. You can see the flip up light cover is the same color as the whole car, but then my hood and my front bumper and lip, they're a different color. The reason being, the hood was originally red, and for last year's show, I was rushing to get it done, so I actually sanded the car down, and I put a primer, and I put like a sealer, and I wanted to use like a white sealer, just to have it to match, and I didn't get a chance to paint the car. Front bumper had a couple of nicks and everything like that. I repaired all the nicks and bumps, and sanded everything down, and sealed that front bumper along with my front lip. So the plan was, like I was saying, to get this car repainted in one solid straight same color, and unfortunately all the projects that I was doing over the winter time prevented that. So the only alternative right now, since I only have 3 weeks, so everything can actually come out right, because I do have the paint and everything over here ready to go with the spray gun. I have the white paint for my RX7, and then I have a black paint for the Talon that I'm gonna still be painting. But so since we are down to the wire in 3 weeks, I'm gonna be vinyl wrapping this car. I have all my wrap tools, and I have the vinyl wrap in here. I bought 2 rolls, and I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like once we get the car washed and the car pulled back in and degreased. So it's gonna be my first time wrapping a car. I've watched and read a lot of reviews, and I've looked into a lot of things and did my research. So I'm pretty sure I can put together a nice piece for this show. So first thing I'm gonna actually do, we're gonna bring the car outside. We're gonna clean it up really good. Once the car's cleaned up really good, we're gonna dry it. Then we're gonna bring it back in, degrease the car, and then I'm gonna start taking off panels. I wanna take off, because I'm not sure if I wanna go over these moldings as a whole with the vinyl, or pop these off and do everything so it can be nice and tucked and, you know, perfect for me. So once we bring the car in, degrease it, I'm gonna be fixing these little nicks, put some Bondo or some filler and everything, sand that down really good and primer it, and go around and check out the pieces that I need to actually fix, because I'm gonna be fixing it for the paint job anyway. But I want it to be a nice wrap. I don't want it to be half-assed. I just want it to be a nice wrap and everything like that. So the first thing we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna bring it outside, clean the car up. Once we clean the car up, I'm gonna put the car on jack stands. And I bought this tool from Eastwood a few months ago, because I wanna roll these fenders slightly, because the car is gonna be, you can see right in here, it's really low. And the other side actually tore into the tire. So I just want to roll a slight roll, not too much, a slight roll just to roll this fender on the front and slightly on the back too. The first thing we're going to do, pull this car out, get it washed up, pull it back in, degreased, and get it on some jack stands. showed inside. My battery died for the GoPro. I don't know if it's a charger that charges the batteries is going bad, because for some reason it showed that it was charged, but it really wasn't. So we're back in the garage. The car's on jack stands right now. The reason why I put them on jack stands because I am going to be rolling the fenders like I was saying before. I'm going to be rolling all the fenders, so I just wanted to make sure I get it up to the right height and I'm able to roll the fenders cleanly. Plus, I want to take off a lot of the trim and see if I need to prep anything underneath the car. So when I wrap it around the edges, it sticks and it has a good bond. So that's why the car is on the jack stands. It is. All right, so we're all ready to roll the fenders. We have all the stuff that we need. We have the heat gun. We have the actual roller that I ordered from Eastwood. Well, actually picked up from the Eastwood store. And we have all the washers that came with it. Now, the good thing is I'm not too worried about cracking the paint on the fenders here. So I don't have to heat it up too much, because we are gonna get this painted. I just didn't get it painted in time, obviously, for the show. So that's why I am wrapping the car. But we don't have to worry about the cracks too much, because some of this paint already chipped off and cracked from the wheel hitting the fender here. So that's the reason why I'm actually rolling the inner lip. So I'm not worried about too much of the cracking. I just wanna make sure I get a good roll out of this, and then I'll sand it down and get a little coat of primer here and wet sand it so it can be nice and smooth so we can get a good wrap. Now this tool actually runs from about $40 to about $70. It all depends. It all depends who you buy from. I actually went down to the store and I bought it for 40 bucks. It comes mostly assembled. The only thing I had to do was put in this rod and put in the tension knob on this side. That's to adjust the height of the roller. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna mount this on the hub and then get it at the right height, and we're gonna start off slowly. We're gonna heat up everything and then start off in the middle slowly with a slow angle to it, not as a steep of an angle. And then after we work it for a while with the heat gun, then we're gonna start actually turning the angle up a little bit more so we can get this thing really flat. Alright, so the fenders are all rolled nice and good. I didn't want to stretch them too much, but I did roll the inner lip. See if you can see inside here. They're nice and beveled now and rolled over. So that's good for the tires. One more thing I have to do, I have to switch over the headlight motor. I had ordered this motor about a year ago, but I never got a chance of, flipping everything. I never got a chance of changing anything over. What I would do at night, there's a manual switch underneath. You can wrench it and open it up. But I'm gonna finally change this motor. I just want to do this right before I wrap it because I don't want to do any type of labor on the car after the car is wrapped. So I want to make sure. All right, so I decided to share this with you guys. I did it again. Just like when my Eclipse, when my headlight wasn't working, I ordered a brand new headlight. And when I went to install my brand new headlight, the only reason why the light wasn't working is because the harness wasn't hooked up. So me doing this motor in this headlight, I took all the bolts out, took everything out, and when it comes time to unhook the harness, I look back there and the harness is not even connected. So I'm praying that I hook this up and this light doesn't flip up and down, because I have to learn from my mistakes. I have to check harnesses and check everything before I start ordering. Don't do like I did. Check your harness, make sure the harness is not disconnected. Order a headlight or a headlight motor like I did for the RX-7, or a brand new headlight for my Eclipse. That's two mistakes, 2 times. But guess what? I learned a lot from it, and that's what this channel is about, I guess, right? Continue to get on this car, to wrap this car, because we only have 5 more days. We're at the 5-day mark until 7th day and my birthday, and the car is still not wrapped. I finished putting on the coilovers. We're gonna touch up a little bit of the nicks and little rock chips, and then we're gonna primer those little areas, sand it down, wet sand it down, and get the wrapping. So we have to get back to work. So once I get done with this, I'll cut you guys back on when I'm home in the garage, and we'll get going with the wrap prep. But being underneath the bridge in traffic and there's cars on top of you and everything, now I know what my patients feel like. I have like a little anxiety right now. So, well, anyway, we're heading to Long Island. I fell upon a really good deal. For about 2 to 3 years, I've been looking to get a Racing Beat exhaust system for my convertible, and I just couldn't pull the trigger.
Head southeast on I-95 lower level north Trans-Manhattan Expressway.
That's my GPS going off. I really couldn't pull the trigger because just the cost. I mean, just to get a full exhaust shipped to me from California was going to be about $1,800, and I really quite wasn't ready to do that. But when I, had a little bit of money and I was ready to do it, of course it went on back order. So right now, that item that I wanted, it was on back order.
In 600 feet, continue straight to stay on I-95 lower level north Trans-Manhattan Expressway.
And that exhaust is on back order now, and like I said, it's about $1,800 shipped to my door, and I fell upon this really good deal. After I buy it, I'll let you guys know, because I don't want the deal to go sour, but I had no choice but to go get this. So I'm gonna go get this exhaust, and then we're gonna head back home to start wrapping the car. So that's where we're at right now. I just had to take a little detour on my wrapping project on the convertible to pick up this exhaust system. So I'll cut you guys back on when a guy had a flat tire. I'll cut you guys back on when we're back on track with getting the car wrapped. All right, so the exhaust, we had to break it down. I wish I would have brought my pickup truck, because I would have had it in one piece and then put it back together. But unfortunately, we had to break some bolts down. But the exhaust is here. Everything's good, so we're going to get it going. Head on back to Jersey. All right, so I'm back from Long Island. The Racing Beat exhaust is actually back in the garage. I put it in, so I just wanted to throw a little bit of a cleaner on here to see how much it cleaned up. So once I hit this with the polisher, this is gonna look really sweet in the car. So I'm excited to get this. It was a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it was a few hour drive there and back, but I had to do it because I saved myself about $1,200 to $1,300. So anyway, what we're gonna be doing today, I'm gonna be finishing up prepping on the car because I want to get this car vinyl wrapped by the end of the holiday weekend. And then we're gonna first start removing all the handles. I'm gonna remove the tail lights, all the lights. We're gonna remove the emblems so we can get this car wrapped up. So a lot to do with little time. Today is the July the 2nd, like I was saying earlier, and I really need to get cracking on this. Now, the most difficult part of wrapping this car, I think, is gonna be the front bumper. I'm gonna be taking off the lip, but the inlay, I don't think will be a problem, but I'm gonna do inlay right in here, right in this part. But getting the bumper actually pulled away from the fender, like I was saying in the beginning of this video, right in here, that's gonna be a problem because the bolts that are underneath here, they're really hard to get to. And once you get to them, since these bolts been on here since this car was manufactured, they may just break off, and I don't want that problem. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way where I can just actually get somewhat of a little gap here so I can tuck both sides in, and that's about it. And then from there, start stripping the car down, and then we're gonna start prepping the surface so we can actually get some wrap on it maybe by tonight, overnight, because I am gonna be working a late night on this car today because I don't have too much time to work on it after the holiday weekend because I'm working more doubles up to 7th day. So let's get cracking. The thing I didn't show you guys too much, I did clay bar wash the car again. Even though I washed it a few days ago, it sat in the garage for about a week. So I decided to bring it back outside and clay bar everything. I had the soft clay mitt. It's actually really good because it covers a big part of the area instead of the clay bar. And this is a fine grade clay bar mitt that I use. So it's just to get it another nice smooth look when I go to wrap the car. So this is the clay bar mitt that I use. Is a fine grade. It has a washcloth on one side, and on this side is a fine grade clay mitt. It covers more area than that clay bar, so it's really good. Got through it pretty quick.